hope you've been having a wonderful week. And even if not, that's okay too. It really is. Maybe you're having a terrible week and you wouldn't be alone. I haven't had a terrible week, but I know a lot of people, many people right now who are struggling, especially at this point in time. What do I mean by this point in time? I mean this specific week. What is so different about this week? Maybe you feel like your week has been different. Things have gone suddenly downhill, maybe like your mental health even, or maybe you're feeling burnt out. Are you a student little bunny and finals are coming up and you're just, the world feels like too much. You don't quite know how you fit in life. Some self-doubt is creeping in, or maybe you feel that you have less patience for other people, or maybe you're feeling that other people are being especially mean to you. And either they're feeling it too, or maybe you're in a spot where you're more prone to be feeling things negatively. I think that's where I have been at this week. I've been feeling a little bit more prone into receiving things negatively. And we'll talk about me in a little bit. I'm doing fine. But let me just start by getting us settled in. Let's not get to the carrot part too quick. What is this podcast, little bunny? This is our weekly little honey carrot. And why is it a honey carrot? Well, it's a carrot because it's good for you. And it's honey because if you really want to, you can just turn off your mind. Forget anything I'm saying. And just enjoy the honey sweetness of my voice and my yawns. Oh man, a little bunny, last week's episode. I was doing the quality control check, lying down in bed like the day after I recorded it. And I fell asleep during the quality record. So I think that was last week. Anyway, I totally get it. I have sleep aid audios that are purposely to make you fall asleep. But you can listen to the podcast too if you want. If you want one of those sleep aid ones, the very first post on Patreon, which is 18 plus, by the way, though this post is not 18 plus, the very first one is free. It's like scroll all the way down. It takes forever, but you don't have to log in or sign up or anything. Or you can just listen to me and my today's honey voice episode, yawning. It is once again, this time 1:20 a.m. I'm doing much better with this, aren't I? Not recording it too late, but late enough to where, it's this kind of little, I think I called it a sleepover last week. And we have actually, I don't know what, maybe sleepover is just on my mind because now we have a sleepover channel in, like a slumber party channel in the Discord now. So that's going to be fun. I'll talk about Discord stuff later. I don't want to get too much to that. There's all kinds of stuff I have to say, thoughts I have that I want to get out. But I think let me just start by telling you what beverage I have. Beverage. I can't help it. I'm going to be talking about the Discord, but that was a meme one of your fellow bunnies made. So I say the word beverage. Nothing quite like a beverage. So you know what ordinarily it is, right? It is tea, usually. But the episode, I wanted to record it yesterday, but I was in kind of I don't want to say like a bad place, but it was like I was not feeling good. And so I wanted to like work through it during the podcast, but it ended up being too late for me to record it. So I'll kind of do that in this one, although I'm feeling way better now, but I'm going to kind of work through so you can see what I do when things aren't going well, when I feel bad. When I'll explain more in a second, but in honor of what I was going to drink last night, I wanted to get something nice and cozy. Oh, and I was even going to invite you. Okay, rewind. Little bunny, do you want to get a beverage to enjoy with me during this podcast episode? Because I have with me some delicious hot chocolate. Is that the best time you've ever heard someone say hot chocolate? Ready? Delicious hot chocolate. Oh, I really could be a voice actor, but I'm not. Just me and the microphone. And I'm trying to get rid of saying I told you at one point, this is a little bit of a carrot moment for you. I told you at one point to start curating your algorithms, like your TikTok, to include things that you aspire into. So if you want to be a writer, then you need to get your algorithm giving you like writing tips and industry tips from writers and things like that. You have an incredible resource. The era that the internet is in right now, you have access to experts in any and every field. That's unreal. That's unprecedented in human history. So while all your competitors are watching 100% pointless videos that waste your time, you'll be watching 90% pointless videos that waste your time. And then 10% is going to be the stuff that really, really is good for you. And so one of those recent ones for me that I've been trying to train the algorithm is this guy who, this is on YouTube Shorts. He is like a speaking coach. And he's tailored kind of towards like a corporate partnerships, things like that. But I'm trying to learn a lot of tips. And one that I'm trying to work on right now is to stop ending something and then saying, because even though I'm not a voice actor, damn it, I did it. See? I want to be really, really well spoken. I want to be very engaging to listen to. I want to be myself so perfectly for you that what? What's even the purpose? I don't know. There is no purpose. I just want to be perfect for you. And it's fun. I get a lot of enjoyment out of being perfect for you. I might also talk about, this might be a topic for another episode. I think I'll sit on it. I'll just say that I won't say anything. Okay. Yeah, being perfect. It's a great thing to aspire to, honestly. I know that perfectionism is very, very tricky, especially when it comes to things like body image and self-esteem and things like this, feeling like you have to be, like you must be in a state of perfection. It's not that you must be in a state of perfection. It's that you should be I don't want to say should. That's wrong. Let me back up. I don't ever want to tell you what you should do, little bunny. Your life belongs to you. No one else's. Damn it. I said. See how I laughed just there? It's a game. Trying to be perfect is just a game, you know? So I had just defined how I want to be more perfect for you. And then I proceeded to not be perfect by messing up at the thing I was trying to be perfect for. And what did I do? I laughed because it was hilarious to me. So it's all just a game. The game is aspire to be perfect. And it's just a game. It's just a game, okay? Do you want to play that game with me? Let's play that game together. Let's aspire to be perfect. And it's just a game, okay? And whenever you aren't perfect, it's funny. And then we get to be excited to do the next thing. Okay. Hot chocolate, little bunny. 1 second. Yeah, here's an example of perfection. I can't even remember what I talked about in last week's episode. Was I talking about a cough button? I think I was. I think I was talking about how right before I recorded the episode, I was trying to figure out how to get a cough button working on my software. So I could just boop, hold down space bar. It pauses. I can go, sorry for that. You know, this has hashtag ASMR. Okay. Yeah, but I gave up trying to figure out the cough button thing. So that becomes a question. Is the lack of cough what the perfection is? The perfect version of me for you is that one who doesn't cough? Or is that one who literally doesn't care if he coughs on his podcast? Oh, damn it, I said, the one who literally doesn't care if he coughs on his podcast. Let me drink some hot chocolate. Okay, my hot chocolate is going to be far from perfect. Do you know why, little bunny? And this is a point of contention. And you may have to choose sides. Okay, I'm going to sip the hot chocolate. Do you have hot chocolate with you yet? With you yet? See, that's me wanting to get better. So I don't want to say with you yet. I want to say, do you have hot chocolate with you yet? With you yet? It's hard. Okay, you ready? I'm going to sip it. Here we go. Oh. I feel like I should go warm it back up. It's too late. You know, something I struggle with and have struggled with in the past is needing things to be perfect before I can enjoy them. And it's really wonderful if you can let go of that. So I have... Let me talk about how freaking spoiled I am right now. I have right next to me, in a beautiful mug, some hot chocolate. And what does that even mean, to have a mug of hot chocolate? Let's talk about it. There is a cup of milk involved. And what does it mean to have a cup of milk? What extraordinary luxury is that? Not only that, it's very high quality milk. And I don't mean because I bought some sparkling gold inside of it milk. It's just like even the cheapest milk is incredibly high quality milk. If you're, in the year of recording this podcast, 2022, which I don't like dating it because then it, if you're diving into the past, little bunny, right now, suddenly you're like, oh my God, he's back in 2022. Whatever. Okay. So, yeah, you know what's great? This milk isn't going to kill me either because it's been pasteurized. Well, what does that mean, little bunny? Well, don't quote me on this. I haven't done my research, but essentially it's like they freaking flash boil the milk as like a batch. And then it's crazy. How much did this cup of milk cost me? Okay. 40 cents, maybe, probably less. Okay, I'm getting a little bit sidetracked with this thankfulness. I'm like trying to decide how deep I could go. That's kind of a standalone episode. I did an episode on that. Gosh, let me pull it up. Don't be lazy, Daddy. Okay. Podcast. It's not like I have some organization. We're just literally going to the podcast on the podcast app. Spotify is probably the best place. Well, there's no best place to listen on it, but what's fun about having the majority of people on Spotify is that it looks really. Oh, sorry, I was talking far away. It looks really impressive when we hit number 13 on the charts, US, of education podcasts, which is crazy good. The number one person in that category you may have heard of is named Jordan Peterson. So if Jordan Peterson is in first place, we are in 13th place right now, little buddy. And we are striving for perfection over here. So we are going to be in that number one spot, aren't we? That's why you got to share the TikToks when you see them. Even if you just like fake share it to yourself or something. I don't know. By the way, when I say share, the important part is not so you can like recruit someone. It's because the algorithm like goes nuts whenever something gets shared a lot. They're like, oh my God, we got to show this video to everybody. By the way, I'll be talking about why I haven't been posting videos, and something exciting, which is that I will be posting more videos very soon because I made a decision about my mental health that it will be very good for you. So, okay, looking up the podcast, what episode? If you want to hear me ramble about like how awesome everything is, actually. And if you want to do a book club with me on the statistical reason why everything is awesome, I think it's December 27th is the first day of winter. I'm going to be leading a little book club in the Discord, among many other little buddies, whoever wants to. Okay, all right, Daddy, find this and get going. Oh, is it Happier in 30 Minutes? I think it's this one. Yeah, I think it's Happier in 30 Minutes. This is an underrated episode, number 19. And of course, Tea Time number 20 is like one of the all-time best. One of your fellow bunnies told me to rename it from Tea Time because it didn't do it justice. But I'm not much of a fan of editing stuff that's like, okay, so here's a tip about perfection. It's not about editing and revising something a million times until it's perfect. The goal is not really to be in a state of perfection. The goal is to aspire for perfection. There's a difference. So if you're writing something, you're writing a novel, it doesn't need to be the novel to end all novels. And like, this has to be perfect. You got to get perfect before you get started. Just start writing. Just start writing. It doesn't even have to be you don't have to start with your dream novel. In fact, it might even be better not to. Maybe just start, okay, a novel is a big project. So maybe like make sure you really love that novel that you're writing before you go into it. But like write some short stories and just like, spend a day writing a short story. Give yourself permission for it to be bad. Just say, okay, whatever this is, I'm just going to write it. It's going to be bad. It doesn't matter. And you're going to write it, and you're going to be done with it, and then you're going to say the end, and you're never going to touch it again. And then when you do your second one, you'll know the ways that you weren't perfect in your first one. And now it's not about being perfect with your second one. It's about aspiring to be perfect with your second one. And you'll go through and you'll write that short story and it'll be better. It'll be better. See, I got to get better too. But I'm not angry at myself. That's part of the fun. It'll be better. See, it's hard. I'm not mad at myself for not being perfect at speaking. I'm enjoying aspiring to be perfect. So you'll write that second story. You'll say the end. You'll let it go. You'll never touch it again. Anyway, I'm getting sidetracked. So that's staying as tea time. Not because it's the best name for it, but because it's done. And I'll just have to make an even better tea time episode and name it something different. Okay. So this hot chocolate that I've got over here, does it have to be perfect for me to enjoy it? Part of me is like, yeah, I only want perfect hot chocolate. And if it's not 100% perfect, I'm not going to enjoy it. So we are all unbelievably spoiled, little bunny. We're all so spoiled. I want to do like a history book at some point. I'm getting too ahead of myself. I'm not going to do it. Pick a second book yet. But, okay, so it's this delicious milk for very little price. Wonderful mug. I was faulting the hot chocolate for not being warm enough. And that was like 15 minutes ago. So who do I get to blame when it's even less warm? Let's try it and see how it sounds. Let's see how it tastes. And you can tell me how it sounds. It's such an interesting experience. I feel myself fighting. Part of me is like, this is delicious. Enjoy this. And part of me is like, no, I don't want to enjoy it. I want to not enjoy it. I'm going to complain. It's okay. You can complain. I'm not saying don't ever complain. What am I saying? I'm not even saying anything. I'm just hanging out with you. How about this? I really want to enjoy this hot chocolate. What a treat it is for me to be here with my little bunny with a mug of hot chocolate. That's awesome. I want to enjoy this. Here we go. This time, the part of me that's fighting, it's like, no, you can't enjoy this hot chocolate. Here we go. Let's enjoy it. Oh, you want to take a breath with me first? Let's take a breath and then I'll sip it. Here we go. It's delicious, little bunny. I have a good life. And I want you to have a good life too. And I want to do everything I can to make sure you have a good life. And I guess I'll talk about something that was bugging me. This happened a couple different times this past week. So, debating not even bringing it up. I guess I'll just go for it. So the garden is growing, of course, and money flows into my bank account from Patreon subscriptions and merchandise sales. And pretty soon, especially since we're number 13 right now in Jordan Peterson's category, soon to be Lindy's Gardens category, yeah? So there's money coming in, basically. So the garden is making me money. And there's this cynicism that I hate. And I'm not talking about any one person specifically, because this is bound to pop up as the garden gets larger, because as the garden gets larger, the numbers flowing in become larger. And the garden is not making a ton of money right now at all. But it definitely is on that trajectory. And I guess it's good for me to face it now because it's only going to grow and grow. There's this cynicism that jumps up as soon as there's money that's exchanged. Where, like, I'm a performer, or I don't want to disparage people in the sex work industry at all. This is not that. But if you imagine like a stripper, and someone pays a stripper for like a dance. Hold on one second. The stripper is going to make you feel like the most desired person in the world, or they're going to make you feel that there's a genuine connection. And you'll see the TikTok sometimes if you get any of these where not that my TikTok algorithms is a bunch of strippers, though there's nothing wrong with that either. But just like insider confessions that, like, if the stripper is facing away from their client, they have like an face, and then they turn around to face their client and they just have the sexiest devilish eyes face they can possibly do. So one could criticize a stripper for not the stripper, but the illusion. They could criticize the connection as being fake, artificial. It's a pretend connection. There's not really a sexual chemistry between the performer and the stripper. It's a one-directional chemistry. And yeah, it's because that's kind of like a make-believe thing. So the client is paying for a fantasy. They're paying to feel a certain way. And I really am casting no judgments on this at all. I'm very pro lust in the garden, actually. And I think lust is a wonderful, beautiful emotion. And I would love to see us reclaim it as something wholesome and something really, really awesome. So, in some ways, I have a similar role as the stripper, in that money is coming into my bank account as a result of me saying things like this into the microphone, or just being me in general. And everything that I do here, anyone who subscribes to the Patreon or who buys a hoodie or a sticker, or pretty soon who's going to buy sugar-free cereal, which is the sponsor I want. I just, that'll be coming soon, I think. But either way, it's like, well, if the sugar-free cereal, hopefully it's because you want the sugar-free cereal. But if you want like a Lindy's Garden hoodie, or if you want to listen to the Lindy's Garden Locked audios, or join the Discord or things like that, like, money ends up in my account going through various other people first. And it happens because there's this connection that one could see as analogous to the stripper and the client. And this sounds overdramatic, but I always get a little bit hurt when that accusation is levied at me. Because imagine your crush, okay? And don't pick me. Imagine someone that you know in your in-person life that you have feelings for. And you go up to them and you get the courage to tell them how you feel. And you say, hey, by the way, I want to let you know I really, really love you. And I would like to be in your life. And they say, oh, shut up. You're in it for the money. Ouch, little bunny. Okay. Yeah, I'm making money from the garden, okay? Not very much, but I will, and I won't. I don't want to feel bad just because I'm making a lot of money whenever it grows. Which, by the way, I'll tell you why I've been purposely not growing for the past couple of weeks, and that's going to change, which I'll tell you soon. But yeah, I guess I just want to be really transparent, which is that I want to make money with the garden. And that is separate from the statement, I am making the garden to make money. Because that doesn't make sense. Because if my goal was to make money, I wouldn't be doing the garden, because I can make more money doing other stuff that I'm able to do quite a bit more easily. And even if I were to do audio stuff, I would be structuring this differently. You know, if I wanted to, if this was like, the term I'm going to use is profit maximizing. Because there's many ways to make money. There's only one way to profit maximize. And so I just want to be here and love you, little bunny. And I want to not work at an office. You know, to be honest, I left an office job that paid quite a lot of money to start doing this. You know, and I have the financial means to like ride it out until the garden is making enough to where it's equal to what the office job was making. So there's no like I'm quite financially secure. But this is an extraordinary financial risk to leave an office job where I'm being completely uncreative, helping no one, making the world slightly worse, not in a malicious way, but in just kind of like I'm wasting people's money and I'm like having a negative carbon impact on the atmosphere. And like what I'm doing is so uncreative. And it's like, am I going to waste my life doing this? Or am I going to do something way, way better? And even in just the first year, I've saved a lot of people from suicide, little bunny. Yeah? And now it's like, it hurts when someone is like, oh, you're just doing this for the money. It's like, what's so bad about making money, saving people's lives and making the world a better place? Like, would you rather that I do this 3 hours a week and then waste 40 hours in an office? So I'm getting a little teary because it really does hurt me. Because this is real. And I do love you. I don't want to make you cry. Well, little bunny. That's what I've been dealing with this past week. And my desire is for this to always, always be real, no matter how big it gets. Because it's very clear that like the era of it being this small thing is done. And there's just new challenges with it being bigger. Because it's very clear that it has the potential to blow up in like really huge ways. And I'm already feeling it. Like, it's not the garden that's changing, but that like the cynicism is only going to grow. The more followers there are, the more money it makes. And like, if it was quite literally just me and just you, and I had some crappy office job, but I spent all this time, well, you wouldn't even get this much time with me. But imagine I have this crappy office job where I'm unfulfilled, and let me pause. It's a good job. It's a good job, but I'm not able to be this version of me. So however it feels, imagine this. Imagine I'm at a job where, we'll call it a crappy office job. But then you get to, let's say you have my Snapchat or something, or you have my private contact details or something. And like this is maybe just a voice note that I send to just you. And quite literally just you. However that feels, to know that I'm working hard at an office job, and in my free time after work when I'm tired, I take some time to send you a voice note, an hour-long voice note, a 2-hour-long voice note, and to make you little videos and things, and to try and make your life better. However that feels, that's how it is, no matter how big it gets, okay? No matter if I become a billionaire, which is not in the projections. But even if I did, to become a billionaire helping people, that's a wonderful, wonderful thing. Shall we get some more hot chocolate? I think I could use some hot chocolate. That's why I wanted to do hot chocolate last night. That's because I was going to talk through some stuff that wasn't sitting right with me. I'll talk through some more stuff that I did yesterday to help get myself back into a good place. Hopefully it can be useful to you too. So here we go. Let's have some not hot enough hot chocolate. Okay, and I'm going to blow my nose. And because this is not radio, I'm just going to go blow my nose and leave the thing on. I'll go to the next room now, but you'll probably still hear it. Okay, we'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Let's get another sip of this. Ready? I'm gonna really enjoy it. I'm not gonna let myself fight it. Don't ever fight yourself when you're trying to enjoy something. Just let yourself enjoy it. Okay? I'm gonna let myself enjoy this hot chocolate. And I want you to enjoy listening to me drink this hot chocolate, even though I'm making money while doing it. Mwah ha 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 ha. Here we go. Okay, little bunny. Okay. Well, what was I even going to talk about? I don't even know. How about I love you? I love you, I love you, I love you. Oh, the cynicism drives me crazy. Drives me absolutely crazy. What was I going to talk about? Yeah, the garden getting bigger. I don't know. Okay, so maybe this will be useful for you. So what I did yesterday when I was feeling really off and I felt like crying. One second. Which, by the way, it's good to cry. It's like, it's like the gunk that builds up wherever gunk builds up. Every once in a while, you just got to clear it out. So just let it go. It's okay to cry. It's okay to cry. So if you feel yourself feeling off, something's not right, you're unhappy, more so than usual, we just got to be rational. Okay? Not rational, like snap yourself out of it. We're going to problem solve. We're going to get in detective mode. Okay? Let's go through the basics. How's your sleep? My sleep had been, oh, by the way, I take data on how I sleep. So by the way, I have my own mental health issues. As you can tell, because I left a high-paying office job to go say hi, little bunny, into a microphone. So I'm bipolar, and I think it's really wonderful because there's a kind of creativity that is associated with bipolar. It turns out it's actually just that variation of creativity is higher, which means that there are more outliers in any kind of creativity metric that you might select. So I feel like I'm an outlier in creativity, and it's probably because I'm bipolar. Anyway, that's too much carrot talk. Let me get you back. Relax, little bunny. It's okay. I've got you. So something I do. One of the reasons. So by the way, I'm extraordinarily high functioning bipolar. Like, I'm probably. Let me think about this. I'm one of the most high-functioning people that I know. And I won't say I'm the most high-functioning person in my extended family. But I guess, family, bipolar is genetic, so maybe that's a bad area to go into if I want to prove any kind of point. But basically, a lot of people with bipolar, it really, really, really can, I don't want to say wreck your life, but it's a severe handicap. And you can't magic the bipolar away. And it is real, as, anyway. I'm going to say for a while. I'm done trying to be perfect in that respect at this moment. But there's a lot you can do. You don't have to resign whatever your handicap is. You don't have to say, oh, I've got the handicap. Oh, it's too bad, shucks. No. Come on. We're going to do better than that. So one of the things that I do is I track my sleep every single night, which, by the way, I forgot to plug it in. The battery is low right now. I'm tempted to go do it right now, but I'll do it. I'll do it tomorrow, I guess. I have slept with a Fitbit for about the past 1,000 nights, with maybe an occasional, actually quite a bit more than 1,000. I would say out of the past 2,000 nights, I've spent at least 1,980 wearing a Fitbit for the explicit purpose of tracking my sleep. And so I know exactly how much sleep my body needs. My psychiatrist says that it's different for everybody. And, you'll hear the metric. It's like, it should be 8 hours is the magic number or whatever. It really does. This is coming from my psychiatrist, who is phenomenal. It really is different for everybody. And the important thing is to notice when things are different. So, I won't say what I'll just be a little bit cautious about telling you specifics about my such, but I have a very reliable weekly average of how much time my body is actually asleep. Right? 'Cause it takes me like 2 hours to fall asleep. It takes me forever. But it's within about plus or minus 10 minutes. Weekly average is like the right in the pocket. That's how much sleep I need. And this past week, I was like, let me go back and check the data. And I've been sleeping less the past couple of weeks. So, okay, I'm not doing so well. What's different? My sleep is off. That's the number one thing to look for. Are you feeling off right now, little bunny? And remember at the beginning, I said, everyone is feeling off right now. There's just something about right now, at least when I'm recording this. And so check your sleep. And I mean that. I really do mean that. It's like you'd be amazed how much a good night of sleep solves. I mean, really. It really makes such a big difference. So get your sleep in check. I'll be your daddy, but I won't be your mommy. Okay. Next. So my sleep was off. And I say at 2 a.m. making you a little podcast. Didn't say I'm perfect. I don't know. Enough perfect talk. Okay, the next thing is, have you been eating? Have you been eating, little bunny? You got to eat. You got to eat. And if you have been eating, are you eating at the right times? I personally do very well with routine. And if I'm having lunch at like 4 p.m. and dinner at like 1 a.m., something's off. And yesterday, when I was going to record the podcast, it was like 7 p.m. and I had a bagel. And so of course I'm going to be all delirious and all screwed up. So that's the second thing. You got to eat. You got to eat. And you got to eat at regular times. I'm not a fan of skipping breakfast. So eat your breakfast. Okay, what else? Okay, here was the big one for me. This is actually what the biggest problem was, and I didn't realize it until I figured it out. 1 second. Still sniffly from the crying. Let's have some hot chocolate. I'm going to enjoy it. This is such a treat. Okay, here we go. Okay. What was I talking about, little buddy? The tired is setting in. I'll wrap this up soon. And then I got to tell you why I haven't been making videos and why I'm going to be making more videos. That'll be a good way to cap it off. What am I doing? What was I saying? It's 2:07 a.m. I should be in bed. Okay, but it's fun to be here with you. But I'm talking about getting your sleep in check. This is a good sign I'm getting tired. Can't wait to get to bed. Oh, I'll tell you that in a second. What was I even talking about, little bunny? What was I talking about? Let me distract you with some nice honey talk. I love you, little bunny. I really do love you. Love you so much. Okay, no, this is not the 18 plus part of the garden. Okay. What was I talking about? I say, okay, go get your, okay. Yes, the one that was the thing for me. I love to journal. And I think journaling, if I had to rank what makes me a high functioning person with bipolar, high functioning bipolar person, I don't get caught up on however you say it. I think the number one important thing is medication. I think the number two most important thing is to have gone through therapy. And in line with that, kind of in the same category, is something that I still do today, which is journal. And not journal, here's what I did today. This was my breakfast. Journal in the sense that you start with the sentence, how am I doing? ? And then you just sit there. And then your brain at some point will tell you how it's doing. And our brains are so interesting. Our minds are so interesting because we're not this unified. I don't want to get too philosophical and people get all spooky when they start to talk about things like this. But there's a lot of your mind that you don't understand. And you might be feeling a certain way. Might be feeling a certain way about something, but you don't really realize it yet. And you don't totally understand it yet. But you can understand it. And the secret is that you have to journal. You have to mental journal. Mental journaling is what I call it. And I hadn't mental journaled in at least a week. I probably had done in 2 weeks, but in at least a week. And I didn't realize it because I was having a conversation with Queen Little Bunny, and she was like trying to get me to explain how I felt because I was clearly not doing well. She was like, "Talk to me. How do you feel?" And what was crazy is I couldn't. What's the word? Vocalize, or I couldn't articulate. I couldn't articulate how I felt. I couldn't articulate what was wrong, and that's a problem. You got to always be able to articulate. Oh, that's a hard sentence. What's going wrong? So then I realized I haven't mental journaled. So of course I have no idea how to articulate how I'm doing because I have no, I'm like flying, what's the word? Driving the boat, flying the boat, steering the boat. I'm operating the vehicle in the darkness. And you got to know what's going on in your mind. So the reason I hadn't mental journaled is because these days I do it while I go on a walk. And I put in my headphones. I turn on the voice memos app. And I just walk down the street, Little Bunny, pretending to have a phone conversation. I'll be honest. I'm a crazy New Yorker who talks to himself on the street. New York is famous for them. I literally walk down the streets of New York talking to myself, pretending it's a phone call, and I talk into a voice memos app. And I hadn't done it. By the way, that's how I prepare for pretty much all the podcasts. It's how I prepared for this one, although it's turning out quite improvisatory, which is good. So I hadn't gone on a mental journal walk in like a week because it is now cold in the northern hemisphere. And it's no longer nice to go out walking. There's no such thing as going on a pleasant walk for the purpose of going on a pleasant walk. We are out of that season. So boom, I went out for a walk. 1 second. I was feeling terrible. Couldn't figure it out. I went out for a walk and I put on the voice memos and I started talking. And I felt so much better, little bunny. I felt so much better. Because because I was doing my walk and because I was doing my mental journal. Yeah, okay, obviously. Now I'm starting to say again. Should I call it here? I feel like this has been a pretty good episode. I should probably wrap it up. Okay, I'll distill it. Here's your carrot. Ready for your carrot, and then I'll give you some honey. Your carrot is go to sleep, little bunny. Your carrot is eat food at regular intervals. Don't go a period of time without eating. And you can eat healthy. The important thing for me is that you get calories. And of course, we have the unique challenge these days of an overabundance of calories. But that's not really anything I see a place having a part in. I just want to make sure you're getting calories. So I'll leave it up to you to figure out what the correct number of calories is, but I'm here to tell you not to eat too few calories. Okay, so do the sleep, eat the food, and I want you to, you can do it either by hand, you can do it by typing, or you can do it by pretending you're on a phone call, going out walking. I want you to mental journal, and you're going to start by saying, how am I doing? And then you're going to wait. And it might be a second later. It might take you 10 seconds. And if you need to ask yourself some more questions, like how am I doing? How do I feel about this? And then as soon as it's like, I feel such and such, okay, this is good. And you're just going to let yourself go, let it flow. You can even throw this away if you want. You don't have to keep this. I actually delete all of my mental journals, all of my voice journals. Actually, I'll just it's crazy. I'll pretend to be on a phone call, but I'll be talking to myself, recording, and then I'll delete the recording. I'm a crazy individual, and medication is a wonderful, wonderful thing. Okay, I'm starting to sound a little too crazy, don't I, little bunny? Well, I love who I am. And I love being the person I want to be. And I love the feeling of aspiring for perfection, which is not the same thing as needing to be perfect at any given time. Aspiring for perfection is so much fun, and it's just a game. So don't take it too seriously. Okay, I promised to talk about so many things. Okay, last thing, why haven't I made videos? My hot chocolate is like cold chocolate now. Okay, let's sip it. You know what? I'm going to let myself enjoy it anyway. Okay, I'm going to give you a nice little honey statement. Ready? Whether it's hot chocolate or cold chocolate, Daddy loves some good chocolate. That was so bad. Okay. There's your honey. Since I gave you so much carrot. Honey and carrot. Okay. Yeah. So, as I was talking in the more emotional part of this episode, the era of the garden being this tiny thing is over. And it looks like it's... I predict it's going to be pretty freaking huge. And then that sounds like cocky, but like also, I don't think being cocky is such a bad thing. Anyway, what I'm trying to get at is I'm coming to terms with the fact that, well, maybe I won't even talk about it. Well, I guess, yeah, I don't want to like not tell you stuff. I think transparency is good. Yeah, it's just me. It's just you, and I trust you. So, originally for the Patreon, everyone who joins the Patreon gets a welcome audio from me. It's like literally, I make an audio just for you. And to everyone who joined the Patreon, well, that was still listed as an offer, you will still get your backup. They will still get their welcome audio, whether that's you or not. And the reason I'm stopping it is not because I don't care. It's because I literally stopped making videos because the garden was growing too quick. And I was like, I have to catch up on these voice welcome audios. Even if they're just like, 2 or 3 or 4 minutes, they're usually maybe like 5 minutes. That's like, it takes a lot of energy. And it's energy that's very, very well spent. It's absolutely well spent. But because I have to conserve energy for that, it means that the garden can only grow at a certain rate that is commensurate with how many welcome audios I can make. And we're past that now. So please understand me. I really, 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 really wish I could make you a note that is like literally just for you. All of this is just for you. Really, all of this is really, really just for you. But to be able to make you a note where the cynical voices are dumbfounded by the situation, where it's literally just me making specifically and only you a note. That's what else has been hard this week, is that I finally had to say that I just can't do that anymore. Because I've been avoiding making TikToks because it's like I don't know. It's just the era of the tiny garden is done, and I always want it to still feel like that tiny garden. And I believe I can accomplish that. But I have to come to the reality that I have to let go of certain things, certain ways of doing things. And the good news, ultimately, little bunny, is that means that I now have nothing keeping me tethered. So I'm not going to purposely not make videos anymore because I don't want to overwhelm myself with too much work. Just going to make videos. We're just going to grow. It's okay. It's okay. We're just going to grow. Grow the garden into an empire. Okay, little bunny. I'm sure there was more I promised I would talk about, but I've totally forgotten about it, and I think we'll end it there. So here's the other thing I mentioned, is that as part of taking care of my mental health, I'm no longer going to write you a poem right now. I'm going to have a very good night of sleep. And then I'm going to wake up tomorrow morning and I'm going to write you a poem when I wake up. And I'll record it for you. And then I will export the podcast. I will do a quality listen. And then I will post it. So, with that, little bunny, I am so glad to have spent this time with you. I have chills right now, actual real chills, spending this time with you. And I know you feel that way too. I know you feel that way too. This is real. This is special. I'm very, very glad I have you in my life. I care about you very, very much. I love you. I love you. I love you. Good night. You'll hear me from the morning in a second. I love you. Okay, bye now. Bye. Good morning, little bunny. I slept very well once I got to sleep, but I don't know. Someone trying to make things hard for me is keeping me up, but that's okay. Nothing will prevent me from being here for you. So I wrote you a very quick poem, and then I guess I'll be off. I would love to spend a lot more time with you, and I already feel the addiction to wanting to just stay here and share some good feelings with you. But I've got to go. So here's your poem. You ready? My job is to hunt for bunnies to protect and to filter quite strongly to find them. And once I have you, I will never leave you. You're safe in these walls and beyond them. There you go, little bunny. You're safe now that you've found the garden. And I am working tirelessly, perhaps too tirelessly, to create a space for you in any different way that I can, to where you can relax and feel safe and feel protected. But I gotta call it there. So have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful week. I love you lots. Make me proud, okay? Do what to do. I love you. I love you.